It's just a sort of a high-level question. Gordan, so when sort of working in a very academic field, do you find that is an expansive way of exploring, I guess, esoteric ideas, or you find it sort of places certain restrictions on your writing, or does it sit somewhere in between those things?
Well, I took the liberty of not being constrained by such concerns, and as a result, I never got full employment, and currently I am basically semi-retired, unemployed, and trying to focus my energies on writing. So I'm not perhaps the best example for either positive or negative answer to that question, but scholar, and I understand the point of the question. Hopefully and helpfully, things are changing, and academia has a larger acceptance of such ideas as the object of studies, thanks to the initial success and the persuasive power of the study of the Western mysticism, because they produce really fantastic scholars, and the job that they do is really excellent. So, but this is kind of only, we are talking about last 2 decades or not. 50 years ago, it would not be possible to study these things in the academic setting and to kind of take them seriously. You could have taken them as an approach of academic study, but only in order to be critical of them, to kind of point that the extent of human folly or whatnot. I'm perhaps exaggerating a bit, but in order to make a point, I have to do so. So the study of these things did and probably still does contain certain risk for the academic employment. There are very few chairs for the study of Western esotericism. But Robert Thurman was also the first chair for the Tibetan studies in North America, in the United States of America. When he got permanent employment, I believe at Columbia or wherever it was. And we know that, for example, nowadays the Tibetan studies are very well established, the field of academia. So hopefully both Western esotericism and the study of Thelema as an academic discipline will make it possible and proficient for the scholars who are good doing their job to get permanent employment, that do not have to suffer rejection in their professional life because of the subject of their study. If that answers your question.
Thank you.
Keith, does that concord with your experience?
I think it does, and I'm really happy to hear of Gordan's experience in terms of or his method of trying to understand hermeneutically, sort of go inside the text, go inside the ideas, and really kind of take it seriously, because I really think that the taking it seriously part is really in some ways the biggest obstacle. I mean, even in South Asian studies or Indology, there are certain topics that are sort of guaranteed to be taken seriously, and other topics that are sort of, they're treated as out there on the margins. Regardless of how good the scholarship is objectively, it's still sort of, on the margins. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but I really think it speaks to priorities that are on a much, I guess like more macro level, in their interactions with society and so on.
I think that one of the main reasons for these tendencies that are still present, where this study of field is met with some reservation and objection, I think that the genesis of all of this is the origin of the religious studies in the Western theology. I mean, the religious studies develop out of theology, so kind of a sum of the old persuasions and the reservations stem from that field and from that place of origin. It is also very interesting that you have in several academic fields the situation mostly in the religious studies, but kind of a studying of the separate religions. When Gershom Scholem starts the study of Kabbalah, at the time Kabbalah is kind of laughed at both in the academic field and by official Judaism as well. It's considered to be kind of some crazy people doing some weird stuff. While in fact he manages to present it as kind of be the heart of Judaism, so that the study of Kabbalah becomes really established academic field. We have similar situation in the South Asian studies, where Tantra was initially approached as the depth of depravity when it comes to Indian culture, something that cannot be taken seriously, or if we take it seriously, it is only as a kind of something to be rejected and criticized. And it eventually evolved into this situation where we today understand Tantra to be a vitally important aspect of Hinduism, South Asian culture, and that is able to produce fantastic research results of the research. So I think that I'm persuaded that a similar fate awaits also the Western esotericism and Thelema as a field of academic study.